Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I have been busy today, and my mother's in town. But let me tell you what, so every once in a while, I get these ideas to put, sometimes things don't look truly as absurd and ridiculous and insulting as they really should be until you put video clips side by side, which I did twice today. And I want to show you the first one. And then you tell me, you just decide for yourself. Here we go.
ICOs are fraud, speculative, and speculation drives innovation. So they're very important in creating foundational infrastructure.
Without registration.
So by the way, what you just saw was Brad Garlinghouse back in when the ICOs were heating up, calling them a fraud. And then you saw, I think that guy's name is Joseph Lubin, from one of the guys from Ethereum, talking about how they're legit. Then you have Jay Clayton right here, and he's telling you what he thinks about ICOs.
With us. And folks somehow got comfortable that this was new and it was okay and it was not a security, it was just some other way to raise money. Well, I disagree with them.
So it is not new, it is new, but it is not okay and it is not another way to raise money.
Correct.
I am understanding you to say it is a violation of law.
Yes.
Registration really matters. When companies don't register their tokens as securities, they can hide information, and the SEC does not have the information it needs to monitor this market.
I'm perfectly happy for these people to do private placements, but do them right. Don't try and do it as a private placement, but get all the benefits of a public
and then
offering.
lever over into a public
do all
offering.
the other shenanigans there.
Well, good. So should I take today as you're sounding a warning bell for people? Maybe they better pay a little closer attention to the law, or the SEC is going to pay closer attention to them?
Yes, and it's not the first time, but I really appreciate the opportunity to do it today.
Okay, so I'll talk a bit about the funding model. So we will have a fundraiser for 2 months starting February 1st. It will be available at funds.ethereum.org.
So after his comments on what an ICO is, then you watch Vitalik Buterin here do his ICO and called a fundraiser not once but 3 times. I mean, you couldn't even begin to make this up. And if it was just one time, then that would be fine, but it wasn't. Watch this.
Emphasize that our securities laws do apply to the ICO space. If people are going to raise money using initial coin offerings, they either have to do so in a private placement or they have to register with the SEC. When you register with the SEC, you got to provide financial statements and disclosure along the lines that we would expect.
Okay, so I'll talk a bit about
I'm not going to play that again. You get the picture. It illustrates the complete absurdity. So these little clips like this I call illustrating absurdity. And that sounds like a title for this video. Okay, CoinDesk. Ripple has pitched the XRP cryptocurrency as a way to bridge between different central bank digital currencies in a new white paper. So the important thing here is that CoinDesk is now picking up on what Ripple and Ripple is doing and what XRP is going to do. And that's a big deal, because a lot of times they would ignore this kind of stuff. Now, I tweeted this out today too. I was tweeting out the Street article. Coinbase Global plans to sell 114.9 million shares in a direct listing initial public offering. And I said, you think .com boom was fun? The crypto boom starts with Coinbase. Last time they had debt, a business plan, and .com on the end of their name. This time they're making money hand over fist. The Internet of Value is going to make the Internet of Information look like a kid tea party. I totally believe that. Now, Coinbase is doing a direct listing, and I wanted you to hear what Jim Cramer says about this.
Coinbase, which is still planning to go public, they have filed to sell 114.9 million shares in this direct listing. What do you make of Coinbase going public at this period of time?
Well, Roblox was really good. but that's a platform. It depends on the day. It might be a good opportunity. I mean, if you look at a day like today, which was a sucker's day from the beginning, then you might be able to get a chance to get in the direct listing at a lower price. I find the direct listings fascinating because they can really produce some bargains for the buyers. So stay close to that one. It may be a good one.
Okay, that's Jim Cramer on that. Now, also speaking of the Internet of Information versus the Internet of Value, I wanted to show you the first part of this clip. This is with David Letterman with Bill Gates back in 1995. Watch this.
But you know, I think about this, and what about this internet thing? Do you know anything about that?
Sure.
What the hell is that exactly?
Well, it's become a place where people are publishing information.
Right.
So everybody can have their own homepage. Companies are there, the latest information. It's wild what's going on. You can send electronic mail to people. It is the big new thing.
Yeah, but you know, it's easy to criticize something you don't fully understand, which is my position here.
Go ahead.
But I can remember a couple of months ago, there was like a big breakthrough announcement that on the internet or on some computer deal, they were going to broadcast a baseball game. You could listen to a baseball game on your computer. And I just thought to myself, does radio ring a bell? You know what I mean?
Now, I wanted to make a point here. If you were around a few years ago, the people, the David Lettermans, whoever the current David Lettermans of the world were, all of the people, until something's popular, they're always the same way, and they were making fun of Bitcoin just 2 or 3 years ago. Now you're seeing them start to make fun of NFTs and say this doesn't make any sense and all. I'll tell you something. When I was listening to the video with Greg Kidd from yesterday, Greg Kidd made a comment that made sense to me. These NFTs, a lot of people are saying that that doesn't make any sense. Why would anybody buy a representation of, say, Tom Brady holding up a football? Has no value. Well, Greg Kidd said something to this effect. He said, well, when it becomes value is when you have a chain of, basically a chain where you can prove through the blockchain that football, that Super Bowl football being held up by Tom Brady was put out and endorsed by Tom Brady himself. In other words, declaring that image that is the NFT, that this is the official one of whatever this series of NFTs are. That's what gives it the value. And I'll give you another example. I'm let me see if I can think of a really good example. Let's take a baseball player. When I was a young man, Reggie Jackson was one of the home run kings. I was talking to my son about him yesterday, how he struck out a lot, but he hit home runs, and they remember the home runs. Well, Reggie Jackson, I don't even know if I think he's still alive, but he could do an NFT that's like when he achieved some record of the number of home runs, and he could, if it came from Reggie Jackson and it was put on the blockchain, and he was the one that put a stamp of approval on it, said this is the official NFT of when I crossed X number of home runs, then it's got some value. And everybody in the world from then on knows that NFT was from Reggie Jackson, and this is the one. That's why these things are going to be so valuable. And I'm going to show you something on NFTs at the end of this. I wanted to show you this. Kava Labs has got all kinds of contests that are running right now. This is one of my sponsors. There's a link to it in the very top of the description of this video. I'm going to put a link to the contest too. Kava Incentivized Testnet prize pool has now increased to $15,000. The competition has extended 1 week and now ends March 31st at 1700 PST. Test and win now. This is the actual page to that where they tell you all about it. I'll put this link in my description and in the comments section. Rick DeLuca sent me this from Coinbase Institutional. Coinbase Custody was selected by Silvergate Bank to provide custodial services to their industry-leading SIN leverage product. We can't wait to work together maximizing capital efficiency for this growing industry. Now, finally, I wanted to show you this, and then one other thing. OMPIF SDR proposals could help reset the international monetary system. Wonder what in the world they could be talking about. And then finally, this right here is the same thing that was going on with Bitcoin a few years back. These same people were making fun of Bitcoin. Now they're making fun of NFTs. So let them laugh is what I say. Listen up.
The first tweet that Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey posted has sold as a non-fungible token, or NFT, for about $2.9 million. The winning bidder, Sina Estavi, CEO of Malaysia-based blockchain company Bridge Oracle. He now owns a digital certificate of the tweet. And he tweeted yesterday, in his words, this is not just a tweet. I think years later people will realize the true value of this tweet, like the Mona Lisa painting. And it was my fervent hope that someday we look back and say, oh, do you remember when we used to tweet and waste our time doing that stuff? Maybe not. I mean, I'm glad I didn't buy my first MySpace posting that I did on MySpace. Is Twitter's going to be
posting, you liar?
No, I never did MySpace or Facebook. But really, 100 years from now, people are going to go, well, there's the Mona Lisa, and there's, you know, Jack Dorsey's tweet. Do you really believe that, Santoli?
I'll take the Mona Lisa.
You know, I think it's sort of like, you know, the recording of, what was it, Edison, you know, whoever was.
Okay, that's a telephone.
Yeah, so?
Watson,
so this is woke Twitter mobs telling the mainstream media how to think about everything. This is not good.
This is the news ticker of the world right now.
This is misery.
I think that they're miscalculating on NFTs. I think this is going to go somewhere. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that NFTs are going to be a big thing. But here's one caveat. It's not going to be on Ethereum proof of work that they're going to be a big thing. It's going to be on other platforms. And I think Greg Kidd was talking about, don't quote me, but I think he was talking about the Solana platform. We also know that I'm pretty sure the Flare network is going to have NFTs. Vitsevin's already talked about making it where we can do them on the XRP ledger. We're also going to have probably Cardano. Who knows? All these smart contract platforms. Thanks for listening.